very image, the very thing that the universe, the entire universe is constructed upon. But what really is love? So Mawlana Jalaluddin Rumi says, for the elect, love is a tremendous eternal light. For the common people, love is a form of sensuality. Now today on this show, I have a very special guest coming all the way from the United States of America, a Muslim Shaykh in the name of Shaykh Muhammad Hisham Kabbani. Now this is not your ordinary Muslim personality. This is a special Muslim personality we're hosting today on TV3, Accra, live from Addis Ababa. Shaykh Muhammad Hisham Kabbani is a prominent scholar of mainstream traditional Islam. He spent his life spreading and teaching the teachings of peace, tolerance, respect, and love. That are the message of Islam throughout the world. In the United States of America for the last 20 years, Shaykh Kabbani has continued to disseminate the light and peace of Islam's spiritual dimension to people of every background, ethnicity, race, and belief. Shaykh, assalamu alaikum. It's an honor for us on TV3, particularly on Accra, to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much. I like that number 3.
Thank you.
A wither number.
Thank you very much. Once again, let us, I started to introduce this show with a message of love. And coincidentally, you've been spreading and teaching the message of peace, tolerance, respect, and love all over the years. One might, get a little bit worried or confused. Are you teaching anything different from what it is that's supposed to be taught in Islamic jurisdiction?
No, we are following the mainstream Islam, and we are following what Prophet ﷺ, as it is mentioned in Holy Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله. So اتباع النبي, follow the footsteps of Prophet, leads to Allah's love. So Allah mentioned it in Holy Quran. If you really love Allah, follow Muhammad ﷺ. Allah loves you. So love of heaven is not love of dunya. So it is completely a different dimension. So we are urging people to drop little bit, not too much, the love of dunya, and give some time to the love of Allah and love of Akhirah and love of Prophet ﷺ.
You are the U.S. leader of the Naqshbandi Haqqani Sufi order. Now, what is the Naqshbandi Sufi order?
What is the Tijani Sufi order?
A question for a question.
What is the Qadiri Sufi order?
Right.
What is the Muridiyya Sufi order? What is the Sammaniya Sufi order? What is the Shaziliya Sufi order? What is in the subcontinent Chistiyya Sufi order? It's not something different, but it goes back to the university, if we can call in modern terms, to the head of that university who established that school and that student teaching them in Bukhara. So Muhammad Bahauddin Naqshband, he established a big school in Bukhara 1,000 years ago for students who come from abroad to study Islam. So it was called after him the Naqshbandi school, as we call. He is Azhari, graduated from Azhar, or he is from Muhammad bin Saud University. We can say Saudi background, BB background, this university Harvard background. So it is the name of the school. So we got the name of that from the one that has disseminated this kind of knowledge.
Now, in Islam, some Muslims are of the opinion that practicing in the Sufi order is sometimes not well understood. So we have, quite a few number of Muslims, or a number of Muslims, who would want to see the Sufis in another different light. With your help today, I would like you to help us understand, when we say this is a Sufi Muslim, what does it mean?
Those who want to play with the fire, they can play with the fire with any small issue. So Sufism is nothing else except tazkiyatun nafs. It took the term Tasawwuf, and the first person to bring that is Abu Muhammad Hisham al-Madani, al-Sufi, in 125 Hijri. He brought that term in order to people to understand, because it is taking Tasawwuf is from the main, goes back to Safin. Saf means pure, crystal pure, or from the Suf of the wool cloth that they used to wear in the desert in Saudi Arabia today, in the time of Prophet ﷺ in Hijaz. So they used to wear this cloak and go in the desert worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as Prophet was worshipping in Ghar Hira. So this is a purification of the self, nothing else. It's a self-realization. Like Prophet was a self-realization of his Lord. He wants to understand the situation he is living in and to worship one that is the Creator. So Tasawwuf will guide you through the message of Islam, through the 5 pillars first, and then go ahead beyond that. And I am so surprised to find in the West, not in Africa, but in the Western country, that they don't speak except only the 5 pillars of Islam. When they say, what is Islam? They say to you 5 pillars. Okay, that is the first level. Where about the second level, which is Iman, belief? And then where is the third level? وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ مَقَامُ الْإِحْسَانِ, the state of moral excellence. So this moral excellence is what we call tazkiyatun nafs in the Holy Quran, what we call tasawwuf in the terminology that's being used after the time of Prophet ﷺ. Is a changing terminology. As many other words in Islam today, they have been changed into different terms that's been practiced before in different terms. Now today it's practiced in different terms. Like the Holy Quran came with how many different qira'ah? Came with 7 up to 14. So if someone from the Middle East countries, if he is going to hear someone from the Western countries, Africa, in Morocco or here, he can see some changes. He might say, oh, this man is making a mistake in Holy Quran. But it's not.
Right.
In the tashkil.
Right.
It's a different way of dialect. Right. So also the terms in Arabic changes in different tribes, because the Quran came on different tribes. Prophet was for different tribes, so he was using different terms. And that's why it's not something different than the Maqam al-Ihsan, the state of moral excellence that teaches you how to worship Allah better. Like when you say Allahu Akbar and you enter in the prayer, can you tell me, anyone can tell me that his heart is not going out from the prayer and thinking about his bank account, about his car, about his wife, about his children? Maqam al-Ihsan try to concentrate and zoom you in. This is a new word we are using today. Zoom in or zoom up, zoom out. It was not in the time previously.
Absolutely.
So zoom in means concentrate more, and mean tafakkur. That is the tafakkur.
Viewers, we're just tuned in, you're watching Accra live on TV3. My guest today is Shaykh Muhammad Hisham Kabbani, the U.S. leader of the Naqshbandi Haqqani Sufi order. A man of diverse achievements, a man who I believe is doing very much to make sure that the world is a very peaceful place to live. Shaykh, where were you born?
I was born in Lebanon, from a family, very, very religious family, and from uncles that they were the high official religious figures in Lebanon and Middle East.
Did you grow up into a very religious family, like Sufi practicing family, or were you introduced to Sufi?
No, my uncle, who was the head of the ulama of Lebanon, You know, everyone at that time when go to Azhar and study in Egypt, it was a normal study. Sufism Tasawwuf was normal for everyone to have a Shaykh and to take the hand of a Shaykh, like today in the national chief Imam. Everyone knows he is a Tijani, and they go and take his hand there and listen to what he says, and they take his tariqah, even his order, and they become Tijani people. It doesn't mean they are changed, they are not Muslim. So my uncles were on that high caliber of Muslim religious leaders. So I grew in that environment where my uncle, one of them, he was the chief imam, and he was teaching the 4 school of thought to scholars only.
Okay.
Only scholars from around the world, like I see in his association when I was young, go to visit him. 150, 200 scholars come from around the world. They study all mazahib. He teach them one day this mazhab, or the other day the other mazhab, and so on. So I grew in that environment, and they were Naqshbandi, coming from a sheikh in Egypt from Azhar University.
There has been Sheikh Muhammad Hisham Kabbani, who will be taking a deeper insight as far as his accomplishments are concerned. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Yeah. 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 Yeah, Fadi. Yeah, Fadi. He's mentioned it already. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Chef, you were the Prince Charles 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I will ask you a question in that. Okay. All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Accra Live on TV3. My guest today is Shaykh Muhammad Hisham, Kabbani, the US leader, Naqshbandi, Haqqani, Sufi order. Sheikh, before we went for the break, we were looking at where you were born and the kind of family into which you actually grew up. Before I proceed with my next question, let me look. This man is a very special man. He holds so many positions, but let me take a few. The U.S. leader, Naqshbandi Haqqani Sufi order, the chairman, Islamic Supreme Council of America, chairman, As-Sunnah Foundation of America, chairman, Kamilat Muslim Women's Organization, we will talk about that, the president, the Muslim Magazine, co-chair, Council of Muslim Leadership, advisor, Unity One, an organization devoted to ending gang violence, that's very important, and advisor, Human Rights Council, USA, for supporting the establishment of human rights and freedom in all nations, among so many other things. Co-founder, Sufi Muslim Council, SMC, so many things. How do you manage all these positions? How do you manage them?
You are like my wife. She complains a lot.
That's right.
You know, how to manage.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, we have a lot of very good volunteers that they are assisting in that, and they are of good education, and they can support themselves without they have some revenue that comes to them, so they are able to go around and be able to do this work with me, and that's why I depend a lot on them.
That's it. I saw your profile early in the week. Some photograph that I saw fantastic photo shots with President Bush, with President Barack Obama, with so many prominent personalities in the world. 4 weeks ago, you were with Prince Charles of England. What did you talk about with Prince Charles?
That's a long story. It goes back to 2 years of knowing each other, and I met with him several times on many occasions. And how I became to be introduced to him, because I had gave a speech on modernity and in his academy, Feminist Academy in London, and I think he liked the speech a lot, so he invited me to visit with him. So we were from that time, 2 years ago, visiting each other, and he's so interested in Sufism and all other religions at large, but he likes that spiritual realm of understanding the self and the self-recognition and self-realization. So from that point of view, I recommended that if we can put for him an event, that Muslim community, he can visit the Muslim community. And he accepted. And we prepared that event. It took like 1 year of preparation. It was in Manchester. And we invited all different leaders from the Muslim community in England, from various walks of life, from different countries, backgrounds. And there were some from Ghana also. So they attended that event with him. It was 2 parts. One part to meet with him personally, the leader, and then he comes in the public room, main room, to meet with everyone else. And we were also singing some qasidas in Arabic and in English on the love of Prophet ﷺ. And he attended and he left, and he was very, very, very happy with that event.
In 2008, you were invited to the United Nations to speak at an interfaith dialogue towards a global family, a Buddhism-Muslim dialogue. What was the feeling for you? I mean, stepping into the UN building to deliver a speech to a large audience of people of diverse beliefs, all gathered in one room.
I will tell you the truth. I have a double feelings, different feelings with the building of United Nations, not with the people that they are there, but with this entity. it works very hard for political issues and so on, and also humanitarian issues. But there is one dimension of it is, I don't know why they feel like that. So in that meeting, particularly with the Buddhist and Muslim, we entered there. It was very welcoming, and we were sitting in this big hall and discussing the issue of bringing people together and so on. And when I spoke, I quote many ahadith and many verses of Holy Quran about the issue of relationship and so on. And the zakat, because they want to know how you share with other people your money, and we explained the system that Islam teaches us of zakat, of sadaqah, jariyah, of gift, hadiyah, and hiba. We explained that. That was a good meeting, but before that I was invited to a meeting, and when we went there, it was Salat al-Zuhr. So when you enter, it's a huge hall. So we took a corner, we were praying. This before 2001, what happened, and what I'm saying now, there was no violence, nothing. It was year 2000. So we went to pray, and they ran to us and they said, no, you cannot pray here. We have to pray. They said, there is no God here. In this building, there is no God. So this is another side of
the impression that you have
from United Nations. So the second impression is 2008 was very nice impression. But that year 2000, it was really not happening.
For over 25 years, you've been representing your teacher in the United States of America. You live particularly in the state of Michigan. Now, Islam has taken different phases in the United States of America. I mean, what it was 40 years ago is not what it is right now in the United States of America. If you should walk the street of America dressed like this, a grand Sufi Shaykh, what do people think of you?
They come and take pictures of me. So many people, they like the way we dress, and they are amazed, and they take pictures. Before 2001, 9/11, I invited my Shaykh to America, and the pilot was so happy with him seeing him dressed this kind of dress. He put him on the cockpit and behind the wheel of, if you can say that, of this plane. And he put his hat over the Shaykh and took the Sheikh's hat and put on his hat. So I don't feel problem. I don't feel problem. I go everywhere. I go to the State Department, I go to the White House, I go to the FBI, I go to all different places. Everyone respects. But in general, yeah, there is some kind of misunderstanding. There is misunderstanding, and this is the duty of the Muslim community to show that no, Islam is different. It was their mistake before because they were so complaining and criticizing. Now today you cannot find any more in a complain or a criticize. They are more shaping and polishing their speeches better in order to accommodate themselves within the United States.
Sheikh, you're a man of so many accomplishments. Let me mention but a few. You founded the Sufi live TV channel, which broadcasts Sufi content to hundreds and thousands of people online every day. You met with His Royal Highness Prince Charles to discuss the importance of Sufism in Islam and to promote universal spirituality for mankind. So many things I can't just mention. Met with the team UK Prime Minister Tony Blair to share viewpoint on the situation of Islam in the United Kingdom and Europe. Let me go to the next page for the lack of time. You also were the keynote speaker at a forum on the evolution of Wahhabism at Johns Hopkins University, Central Asia Caucasus Institute. And some of your major accomplishments include founder of the most watched, I mentioned that, let me go to the second one, You founded an Islamic retreat and healing center on a 200-acre farm in Michigan, established the American branch of Haqqani Educational Foundation. You're also the founder of Kamilat, like I mentioned earlier. It's an international Muslim women organization. So many things, so many things. I can't just mention all of them. What is different about you, your approach, that makes you welcomed and received by all?
I don't know. It's be something. They ask this question. Many people ask this question. Even scholars in Los Angeles, in different parts of the world, I'm meeting with presidents and prime ministers. I don't know how this will pop up, but it's happening.
Does it have anything to do with your Sufi background?
It might, of course, because I don't know, but it's something that attracts them, and to be attracting someone or to attract people, you have to feel their feelings. So God has given me some kind of inner power that I can read their heart, and I can read some of their minds, their thoughts, and I can speak what they like to hear. This is how you can attract the people. And then you can introduce to them Islam. Because from beginning to introduce them Islam after what happened 9/11 is very difficult.
Absolutely.
So, but when you bring to them the spiritual dimension of Islam, now we as Muslims, we go from 5 pillars to 6, 5 pillars of Islam, 6 pillars of Iman, the last pillar of moral excellence. For them, we begin with the highest one, the moral excellence, because they like that, and then we go into the belief, we give them the belief. Then we go into the 5 prayers and fasting and all the different things that we do. So if from beginning you want to give them the 5 pillars of Islam, Prophet gave it in 23 years. It's not something easy to ask them, don't go to the church every Sunday, come and pray every day 5 times and wake up at Fajr.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. So we go from the top to bottom. They like that. If we go from the bottom up to top, then it's difficult for them. So this is the technique we are using.
Wonderful. I gather also that you were called back, to the United States recently when this Nigerian thing came up. It seems like authorities out there would want to believe that you have some solutions to some problems. I mean, this global chaos that we're facing right now. Let me ask you this very important question. How does Sufism answer, what is Sufism's own answer to the global problems that we're having right now?
For everyone to look to himself. You don't have the right to look at others. Man arifa nafsahu faqad arifa rabbah. Who knows himself knows his Lord. Al-fitnatu na'imatun la'ana Allahu man ayqadhaha. Fitna is dormant, Allah will curse who will bring it up. So our duty is to always keep the fitna down, as dormant, keep it dormant, not give it some fuel. So some Muslims, out of different reasons they have in their mind,
would want to wake up the lying fitna that would cause problems to the entire human population. Let's go for a short break, we'll be right back.